speaking to Jansen Yeoh this morning. He is a fitness and rehab coach. Good morning, Jansen.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
We're good.
We're good.
Very excited.
Thank you so much for speaking to us on the LITE breakfast.
All right, likewise. Quite excited to see what you're going to talk about today.
Well, looking at how fit you are today, nobody would know that you were once overweight, right? Can you tell us a bit more about when you were slightly overweight?
I guess when I was at the age of like 10, because I was the eldest in my family. So, like when you're the eldest in both the mom and the dad side of the family, then they will pamper you and they'll start feeding you a lot of stuff. And one thing that I remember when I was young, I got fed a lot of brown rice. I said, oh, brown rice is very good, but maybe we can talk more about nutrition. But if you eat a lot of brown rice and you don't use that energy, same thing. You would just, no matter how healthy it is, you will still gain weight.
Really?
Yeah. I see you not. So a lot of people have been thinking about losing weight. Okay, I need to eat the healthiest possible. A lot of olive oil, brown rice, this and that, nuts, and then they don't realize that it will actually make them gain weight.
Oh, that's me. All right, no wonder. Okay.
So this is a separate topic, but then
so when you were 10, you were fed a lot of good things.
I fed a lot of good things, gained a lot of weight, and that was when at the age of like 11, that was when I had a lot of migraines. I was diagnosed with hypertension.
At 11, you had migraines.
Migraines, and went to a specialist because it was so painful that I would be on the ground. I would just be rolling on the ground in pain. And that was when the doctor said that better get checked out. And the doctor said that this young boy has young hypertensive, and that's where things just started.
How much did you weigh at your heaviest?
I was rather short. So I was about, for a kid that is 11 years old, I was not at the peak of my fatness yet per se. So I guess I was about 50, but as I started to age until I was 13, 14, 15, I was just like a round dude, So at that point of time, I was still rather short. I think then I weighed about close to 70 to 80 kgs. I forgot. I remember I was just quite depressed as a young kid, and I burned all my pictures because I was so fat, so ugly.
Wow.
So you were about 80 kilos when you were 14 or 15.
Yeah.
Okay. And when did that, that switch turn on and said that you have to turn your life around? Were you still in your teens at that time?
That was part of it because, being diagnosed with high blood pressure at a young age, I'm from Seremban. So the doctor said that this is something different that we have never seen before. And what they will do is that they will put me in a lot of tests. So, and sometimes I had to be admitted to the hospital, and I had to stay there for about 7 days, 5 to 7 days. And I was the only young kid staying in an adult ward. And yeah, if you go to the GH, you know that it's not like a private hospital. The whole environment, the whole smell, and the whole feel, and the whole look of things. It would just put you in. It would just make you feel a bit depressed. And that was when in the hospital, bedridden. I have neighbors left and right. I spoke to them, and they shared with me about why are they here, in the hospital, and most of it is because of lifestyle choices. So that was when I decided to myself that, okay, if me living an unhealthy lifestyle may end me up in a hospital bed like this, the age of 40, 50, I might as well, I need to do something because I don't want to be like that. Because it was very depressing. I just had to lie down there, I can't do anything. I told myself that I never in my life I don't want to be bedridden. Yeah, so that was
what kind of symptoms did you experience because of your hypertension? Migraines, is it?
The scariest thing was that there was no symptom, and my blood pressure was high. It was at my age, it was about 150 over 100.
Wow.
Yeah. So the doctor said that this is very high, and you have no issues. But that is why it's dangerous, because at any given point of time, you could get a stroke. So that's why it's risky.
Oh, wow.
So,
but Jansen, health status aside, right? Were you really bothered by your size when you were younger?
I was also, I was because, I'm not the most good looking, and, being in an all boys school, and, then you have the all boys school and the all girls school, and, and then you have BGR issues. So I was bullied. I was bullied for my size, and we had to go for badan uniform, right? I was in St. John's last time. And I remember you had to do all your march, and if we do it wrongly, we had to do push-ups. So I couldn't do push-ups. So I was shamed, for my physicality. And I got bullied for about since I was 13 until the age of say 16. 16, that's where things started to die down. That's because I started to go into martial arts, and people got a bit, like Jansen can kick ass.
So martial arts kind of empowered you a little bit.
For the wrong reasons, because you wanted to prove people wrong, and you wanted to learn to defend yourself. Then I guess after. And this is where it's more about motivation. If you set your eyes onto things that are more external, when you've achieved that, then what's next? And then if you don't set something within yourself, because of what is your deep why, you will lose focus and purpose. Then you slack. Yeah?
So you mean that if you're only losing weight just because you want to look good, you can fall off the bandwagon very easily? Is that what you mean?
Let me tell you a story.
Okay.
This is where I've met different people because in my work, in my career, in my center, and I had this one client, this one prospect. So he came and he inquired, and he said, "Hey Jansen, I want to get a six-pack. Can you help me?" I'm like, I looked at him, and he looks good. He looks like a regular gym goer. Just a bit towards the bulkier side. He can lose a bit of. He can just cut down a little bit more, gain a bit more definition, but he looks good. And I said, "Okay, why do you want a six-pack?" Then he said, "Oh, because it will help me feel good." Then I asked him another question. Okay, but do you need a six-pack to feel good about yourself? And then he said, "No, but I want it." So back to the question, it depends on the individual, and if that individual is not aware of himself and his intentions, right, he could fall off wanting more and more, because us humans, we want more and more. Once, we get a better pay, higher pay, then we want more stuff. It's the same thing. It becomes greedy. And when you become too greedy, you will end up just trying to achieve everything, and you may get depressed because it's not an easy journey to
it doesn't give you real happiness or satisfaction.
Yeah, and there was a research being published saying that for those people that are towards a certain body fat percentage, those that are maybe towards more like ourselves, the normal people, we are a bit happier than those that are super, super lean.
Really?
Yeah. And
fats equal happiness.
not too much fat, but there's a certain point of diminished returns. Because when you go to that level of looking good and that level of being ripped and shredded, right, your energy level will be very low, and it's a lot of sacrifice needed. So of course, then the individual have to then think, is this what I really want?
The more ripped you are, the lower your energy levels.
Yeah, because I do have a coach, and she is a competitive bodybuilder. And she told me that, she explained to me on her phases of when she will, bow, when she will get lean, and when she'll recover. And she said when it's time to get lean, her energy levels are really, really low. And she's a working adult, yeah. And she said that, are you ready to go through this mental stress? Because as much as you will also stress your body, but there's a lot of the mental side as well. But I guess this is when, it all depends on you, and whether is the person aware of what are your motives, and do you really know why you want it.
Okay. So let's get back to your journey now, Jansen. At that point, when you were like 14, 15, how much did you know about your health and how it was affected by your weight?
The doctor did say that I was a bit overweight, and
But you weren't obese. You weren't over the, you weren't overweight. You were
Oh, you're
just a little
borderline.
bit. Yeah.
I was on the edge of being obese, whereby like everything was jiggly, so you know that you're already obese when things are jiggling around, and you have a big
Okay.
stomach, probably bulging out.
So the doctor did tell you that
and
you have to lose weight.
yes, that was what I was told, and I did lose weight, but my health was still not. I wanted to lose weight to look good first, to look good, to prove people wrong, to say that I'm still exist, I'm still here, Jansen Yeoh is still here, I exist. For the wrong reasons. But as time passes by, it was more for my health. I realized my health is more important for me. And that was why I wanted to lose weight, because when I was 13 or 12, I couldn't get any insurance. And when the doctor told you that your son, to my parents that your son is having his pressure is a bit too high, and he is in risk of a stroke at this age. So he has to get it sorted out. If not, he will live a short life. That was when I knew that, I had to take my weight and my health seriously.
Yeah, but for a teenager, it must be quite a lot of pressure on you as well.
I guess my parents don't really know what's going on in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I grew up pretty much alone, in a sense, whereby I would do a lot of things alone, because I don't want to tell my parents that I got bullied, I've been through all these issues. But that's
Because your parents were working a lot, or?
I think it's just, this is the tricky question. I guess I never really had a close relationship with my parents at a younger age. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry if you hear this, but I guess it's just the reality, the truth, whereby because they're also working and they're busy wanting to provide for the family, and I guess to a certain level of point, you will be influenced a lot by your friends, by your peers, and I'm very thankful at that point of my life whereby I had my PE teacher. That was when he brought me up. My PE teacher, my church friends, that was when they were there for me during my downtime. So they were the ones to help me in this journey as well.
How did your PE teacher help to encourage you in this journey of yours?
So at the age of 15, whereby I had thoughts, because at the point of time, the bullying was quite bad. Every day I'll get bullied, beyond just my weight and my size. At that point of time, I was not really fat, but I was still not best looking. So he brought me into martial arts. Yeah. So he taught me martial arts.
Oh, he's the one, right?
Yeah. So we call him Sensei Lao. So we learned this art of ninjutsu, so to be a ninja, so we throw shurikens, we do like katana fights.
Sounds fun.
And we learn this kind of funny stuff. I mean, it's practical and it's funny. So that became an avenue for me to release my stress and also to be accepted into a community. And most importantly, I remember every day after school, we finish at about 1 or 2 o'clock. And my PE teacher will just bring us out and just have a fellowship with us, just spend time with us. And he was like a fatherly figure to me during my teenage life. Yeah.
Okay.
And he called me, hey, yo, just make sure you take care of your health, you don't let people call you 肥仔,
But what was the first thing that you did that helped you on your journey to weight loss? Was it dieting? Was it exercise?
It was I did both diet and exercise, but I did it wrongly, and that is why I now end up with something that I would never be able to lose. Because when someone is of bigger size and you lose weight too fast, because at that point of time, I remember I did a lot of runs. I would cut all my carbs. I'm not doing things right. I'm just doing things because I just want fast results. And in the result of that, I lost weight, but I end up with loose skin towards my lower abdomen area. So going to college, then I had more. I studied sports science. I spent a lot of time training, playing frisbee, control my food, but I would never ever be able to get a six pack. And I got very frustrated. I was like, I'm doing all the things right, but I can't get a six pack because of the mistakes that I've done. And to a certain point, of course, it will bother people. It will bother me because I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, man, no matter what I do, I will still have that pouch, because of what I've done in the past. And the only way for me to get rid of that is through a surgery.
Are you considering that?
But I remember I shared with you the story about this client that came in and wanted
the six-pack one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I asked myself, like, do I really need a six-pack? Why do I want a six-pack? And I answered myself, okay, I want a six-pack to feel good about myself, and I need a six-pack to show that. But then again, it's not the right reason. Like, do I really need this six-pack thing? So it's more like a want. So if I had a chance to turn back time, to do things right, I know that I would not get this lah. But it does help me and teach me to love myself and relate to other people that are going through this struggle as well. Yeah.
So in total, do you remember how much weight you lost and how long it took for you to just lose the bulk of your weight to be your size now?
It was a fluctuation whereby I was like 60. I remember I was 80, then I went to 65, and then I slowly gained to like 70, 75. Now I'm about 75 to 76 kg. And then...
Is this your ideal weight?
When I was playing frisbee very competitively, I had to run a lot, jump a lot, and at that point of time I was 73, 74. I was really skinny. Now I would say I'm an okay weight, but of course now, living a life as owning your own business and having more responsibilities is stressful. And I remember last year, whereby my lifestyle was not in check. My sleeping, my eating, and I gained weight to, I think, one of my heaviest in my life. I was about 83, 84. It's not a lot, but it's still heavy, and I can feel it affecting me. That was when I realized that, wow, my lifestyle, what I eat, how I sleep, and how I manage my stress level. I was at 82, 83 times 84 kg last year, and I decided to adjust and make certain tweaks in my lifestyle, and I lost 6 kgs over time, and now I'm maintaining at that weight that is okay.
Okay. Yeah. But I guess people would say that you are still young, right? It's easier for you to make that change in lifestyle, and it's easier for you to lose that weight if you want to, as compared to someone who has, I guess, led an unhealthy lifestyle for a longer period of time. Is it still reversible for them?
Now he's in his 40s, and he was diagnosed with diabetes. And now his kidney is failing. He told me that, Jansen, I started to reverse, eat healthy, eat only salad, eat very healthy, exercise, and all these things 2 years ago when I was diagnosed with this. But why is my condition not improving? That is an answer that I can't answer as well. It's the same thing with like what you're asking, because it will be very tough for you to only want to adjust when the medical reports come out. By that time, our body is at a stage whereby it may not be able to repair itself. And what the doctors can only do is firefight. And it's the same thing for this client of mine. And that is the stage that I tell myself that I don't want to be. And that is the stage that neither of us should be, because it's not a very good stage to be in. For those, that are if you're still okay, just that perhaps the doctor said that, you a bit of high cholesterol, your blood sugar is a bit high, which also happened to me a few months ago when I was not checking my food in place. It's the same thing whereby, you have, all I would tell people is you just go to the hospital and you go to the different wards, and you just look at the life that they're living right now, and then you ask yourself, is that really what you want to be if you don't take care of yourself, you know? And they need a reality check. Yeah, and most of the time, then of course, then you may ask me like, oh, but then is that a strong enough motivation to trigger people to take action? But
yeah,
sadly, no. But that's why, because I've been through that. I've been through that stage, early stage, and that's why now I know I don't want to be in that stage.
Is that why you are a fitness and rehab coach now?
Yeah, my background is, I did my degree in sports science, and I used to train a few national teams like the Malaysian men's women's dodgeball team, women's basketball team, badminton players, runners, triathletes, and the reason why fitness was never a first choice in the beginning. After I did my SPM, because then your mom and dad will say, okay, go and take a business degree or engineering or
typical.
And being the eldest, of course, in both the Yeoh and the Lim side, and then and being the only one in the family that's not doing any form of the conventional degrees, and then I got a bit of it was a bit tough for me to be a bit different. And why I did that, I wasn't sure. I know that I had to obey a calling, that I'm supposed to do this. I know I'm supposed to do this, and I just have to fulfill it. And it wasn't easy. The first 4.5 years of my degree, I wanted to quit every single year. But that was when, I played a lot of frisbee. Sports became part of me. I started running to raise funds for underprivileged children. Did a lot of NGO work, to a point whereby I was very privileged to also be selected by the United Nations. At that year, I was one of the only 2 that got selected to go for a 1-month program in the UN in South Korea. And that was when I realized the power of sports and just fitness, but more towards sport, because in sports you have fitness as well, to impact and change people. And that was part of the reason also why I decided to become a fitness coach, because at the end, towards my degree life, after suffering I had a lot of injuries playing frisbee. The same thing when I was a teenager. I just run, no carbs, don't know what to do, lost a lot of weight, but I end up with something that I cannot reverse. College, played a lot of frisbee. I just Googled how to run fast, how to jump high, follow the programs, hurt myself very bad. After all these mistakes, and that was why I decided that perhaps this is what I'm supposed to do, to help someone, or those that used to be in my position, or those that are in my position right now, to not let them fall that hard.
Or to catch them earlier, right?
Yeah. And that's why I'm a fitness and a rehab coach, and essentially focusing on establishing good habits and helping people to understand the why, to go things deeper. If there is a real change, the real change has to start from within first.
But you say throughout your journey, it's been up and down, your weight and also your motivation, I guess. Yeah. What are you doing right now to sort of motivate yourself to maintain this fitness lifestyle?
I guess in the area of fitness, it depends on what is a norm for you. Like at my current stage right now, it's no longer let's say you turn back the clock. Now I'm 27, right? Turn back the clock, maybe 6 years or 7 years ago. At that point of time, my goal was to become the best, fastest, and the most explosive athlete. Then if I were to compare my standard now to before, I'm nowhere near as fit. But at this current point, this is what always should do, which is to have like a review. Just like how you go to the company, you have your KPI, your reviews every 6 months, every 12 months, every 3 months, progress check. And we have to review what do we want, and to look at milestones and to establish realistic goals. At this current point for myself, my main goal is to look at my energy levels, my stress levels, and whether am I getting sick often or not. If I'm getting sick very often, it's showing something about my what's happening on the inside, that I'm not helping my stress levels. I'm not managing it. I'm not eating properly. I'm not eating at the right time. I'm not eating enough. I am not moving enough. So it depends on the individual itself, if I were to say where I am right now, things can be better, and that's why I'm still learning. I'm always learning, and we are always learning to see how we can be better based on the goals that we have set. But the main thing, a lot of people, they're not too sure of what their goals are on the deeper level. They will say things like, okay, I want to lose 5 kg, I want to lose 10 kg. Okay, why? I want to look good. Okay, why? So we're going deeper and deeper. And then when you go through that process and you realize that, okay, maybe I don't need to lose that much. Maybe I just need to tweak a bit more. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it always about looking good, or for most of your clients, is it always about looking good, or health first?
Okay, this is where I'll break it down for men and female. So for female, it's 9 out of 10. They want to look good.
Yeah, I have that last 5 kilos that I want to lose so that I can look nice in a dress, in a tight-fitting dress.
Maybe all you need to do is retain that weight and just tone up and build a bit more muscle, and then you see, like I have some clients whereby they didn't lose weight, but they increased their muscle mass and their fat percentage went down. Maybe they be like 500 grams or 1 kg, but they look even better,
Interesting.
So it's all about recomposition your body's composition. So for men, most of the time when they come to see me, it's because of their health. They're either diagnosed with high blood pressure, fatty liver, diabetes, and they needed a change, and they needed some a service provider that is more focused and more specialized towards this area. Yeah.
Can people actually do it on their own without going to a fitness trainer?
So this is a question whereby, because now with Google and so much things on the internet, everyone's just giving a lot of things on Instagram, on Facebook. The main purpose of a coach, whether is it a fitness coach, a basketball coach, or whatever coach, is to help you align your goals and to problem solve in your journey to see, okay, this is where you are right now and you're stuck. Let's see how do we overcome that plateau. Let's see how do we break that. So that's the purpose of a coach. And of course, with that experience and knowledge, people can do it themselves, but in most time, if you are a first timer and you want to lose weight, which what happened to me at the time, I needed to lose weight. I just run, no carbs, and I lost weight, but I ended up with something that I couldn't lose at the end. My loose skin.
Yeah.
And if I knew what to do earlier on and to not lose weight drastically, but to take it pace by pace, I would not have that issue. So it's the same thing how, in whatever that we do, we always need mentors, we always need a coach to help us. And that's why if you want to take your fitness level to the next level and you want to prevent certain things, a coach is necessary.
Okay. Now, what's your advice then, Jansen, to those who want to be healthier, who want to be fitter and look better, but they don't know where to start, and they're having issues finding time or motivation to go on that journey?
So in the area of time, we're all given 24 hours a day. What my practical advice for those that are struggling for time is, when people look to losing weight, they will look to, okay, I need to cut carbs, I need to work out 1 hour every day, I need to do this, do that. And these are very big lifestyle changes that may be a bit hard for an individual to perform immediately. And what you will need to do is to change one step at a time. Let's say, for example, if let's say your goal is to consume, say, 180 grams of carbs a day. 180 grams of carbs a day, it could be 3 cups of rice. And instead of just like, okay, I need to cut all my sugar level, my carbs into half, which could be a bit of a shock. What the person may need to do is, okay, let's say you just cut by 10% versus 20%, and then you increase slowly. Then it becomes more sustainable. Then in terms of time, what you can do instead, if you are short of time, instead of doing like 1 hour every day, which could be a bit tough for you, you can maybe break it down to smaller chunks, like 30 minutes to 40 minutes, and then you divide it into, like let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You break it into smaller chunks. So you feed it in that area. But one of the main key things that all of us should have is an accountability partner or community to support you. Because I do have someone that I'm accountable to in terms of my health and my food and my stress levels. I keep a log so that I'm aware. And I think that is when things go wrong and when you hit a plateau, that someone can give you an unbiased view as well. But
so that's where a coach comes in sometimes, just like an accountability partner.
Yeah, and it will help the person be in check. But the last thing in towards how do we see long-term change, because I do receive a lot of clients that come and it's their first time they want to lose weight, and it's their first time going through a program, and they lost a few kgs, and then after a few months they're getting back. Again, it's because there's certain fundamentals that are not looked into: your eating habits, your activity levels, your stress levels, all these fundamentals. And then they get depressed again. Say, oh my goodness, I did all this transformation, I lost weight, but now I get it back and now I'm struggling. So it's all about consistency and also understanding, again, your why. Because there will always be ups and downs in terms of weight loss.
Okay. Do you still take instant noodles, Jansen?
I love my Maggi goreng, JD and Bel. Love Maggi goreng, but there's some things that I love, but I need to. It's all about energy balance, Let's say for myself, like I know that I need to consume 1,800 calories. Then I will need to know, okay, whether have I surpassed that or not. Because this is where I will measure my food. But for those that perhaps you don't have the convenience, then you can use things like 1 fist of rice, 1 pound of protein, 1 pound of your fat. So these are things that you can use as a start. But essentially, the main purpose of a coach is to look into your lifestyle and to help you to adjust things to make it sustainable for you. So when people, when they want to lose it on their own, they will just make very, very drastic changes. And that's why after a few months, they'll just give up because they don't see results, or they find it very tough to follow.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jansen, for teaching us a bit about why some people want to lose weight and why we must have an internal why to be able to sustain this weight loss journey.
Yeah, and I will look into, besides just the weight, I will really encourage every one of us to not look at the numbers. Of course, the numbers is some form of measurement, some form of data for us to look at our progress. But if I know a client, let's say he is maybe about 1-2 kgs a bit over what he or she is supposed to be, but he's happy, his energy levels are up, and his mental health is good. He can manage his stress very well. I would rather him have that 1 or 2 kgs extra than to just stress out over the final 1-2 kgs. Unless you are into bodybuilding, you're into looking as lean as possible, or you're competing at a very high level towards a certain sport that requires you to be at that weight, then it's a prerequisite. But for all of us here, for those that are working, for those that you have your own business, the main key thing is about how you feel, your energy levels, how productive you are. And these are the main key things that I will focus on with an individual, rather than just weight.
Yeah. One last question, actually. Is it important to have an idol, like a fitspo, fitness inspiration guru or whatever, to look up to someone, to want to be like that person? Is it important in your health and fitness journey?
Do both of you have fitspo or people they look up to on Instagram or whatnot?
I do. I don't want to look like The Rock, no, but I mean, I have a friend who is a mom of 2 as well, and she's working out every day and she's looking really good, and I'm like, I want to do that, but then I don't have time. And I'm not like motivated to go to the gym every day.
I saw Bel some pictures, right, of these muscle women and everything. She's like, no, that's really not me.
I don't want to be a muscle woman. I just want to look lean,
Well, why? But do you guys feel inspired when looking at all these fitness influencers?
Sometimes yes, sometimes very like when you look at it and you look in the mirror, like, oh wow, that's gonna take forever.
I do get inspired, but it doesn't push me enough to want to make a change to my lifestyle.
See,
Yeah.
again, that boils back towards the question, like what you said, Bel. It was really on point. Whereby, yeah, you know, it's either that someone feels okay, I need to change, which may not last long, or that someone will feel very terrible, or like what you said, yeah, it looks good, but I still don't desire it. And hence, it all boils down to yourself. Whether is it important or not, it is important to have someone to be with you in that journey, to help you, to be accountable with you, whether it's your friend, a coach, or just someone to be there with you. But if you look into the Instagram world as of now, in terms of fitness influencers, in terms of fitness motivation, you see everyone with looking shredded, looking lean. Not to say that is wrong. But some people, like what you said, I don't need it to be like that. It looks good, but I don't need it. But if you don't need it, then why do you keep
idolize it, right?
Because it's what's the word for it? It's if you keep idolizing it like that, it will just create confusion within yourself. I really want it, but I don't want it. Okay, then after a few months I try and do this stuff, then okay, then I don't get it. Then I cannot achieve it, then I just give up everything, you know.
Okay.
So it depends on the individual.